Kylie Jenner and the rest of the Kardashian clan are pushing their plastic surgery procedures onto their fans. There's no more hiding behind excuses because everyone can see through their lies.
Please can you just tell me /us/ anyone that's interested what it is that you asked for when you had your boobs done?
HAILEY Bieber didn't sell her skincare company to become a billionaire. She did it to pay off Justin Bieber's debt and to try to revive his career, because at the end of the day, she's still his biggest fan. Diddy has been in trial for weeks now, and even though his case is getting more intense, his family could care less. And his adoptive daughter he used to show off looks even more in danger than ever.
Yes, it's breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child.
Jojo Siwa has made her relationship official with Chris Hughes, and a lot of people are disgusted with their age gap, especially because Chris has been creeping on Jojo ever since Big Brother.
And I am also so much happier, which means I did the right thing.
Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's son is headed towards a downward spiral, and if they don't step in soon, they are going to be too late. Let's get into it. Let's get into Kylie Jenner. So Kylie has recently opened up about a recent plastic surgery she's had, and it seems like the Kardashian family in general are starting to accept that we're not buying their explanations that they're in the gym or they're resting more. Yeah, right, you're resting on the surgeon's table. And we can see it, and finally they are coming out of delusion and they realize. A TikToker recently went viral asking Kylie specifically for some tips on how she can have her surgeon enhance her breasts like Kylie's have been. Here is that TikTok.
This is a TikTok for Kylie Jenner, okay? If you're not Kylie Jenner and you don't care about boob jobs, plastic surgery, just keep scrolling. Girl, please, can you just tell us? I promise you, my followers, lovely. Safe space on here. Please, can you just tell me /us/ anyone that's interested what it is that you asked for when you had your boobs done?
Now, I don't think this creator was expecting Kylie to reply, but she did. And she wrote out everything she had gotten done. 445cc moderate profile, half under the muscle, silicone, Garth Fisher, who I think is probably the doctor. Now, Rachel commented back saying this is why she's for the girls, which, you know what, she's owning up to it, but it is a little bit odd to see someone who is a celebrity who pretty much sets the beauty standard telling exactly how to achieve this goal. Typically they would keep this such a secret and say that it was just their natural body. How many times have you put off going to the doctor with an excuse like, I'm too busy, or it'll go away on its own? I've done that way too many times, but ZocDoc changed the game for me. ZocDoc is a free app and website that helps you find and instantly book in-network doctors. They've got over 100,000 providers across every specialty: mental health, dermatology, primary care, you can name it. Stop putting off those doctor appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/Sloan to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/Sloan. ZocDoc.com/Sloan. When we saw Kylie make her red carpet debut with Timothy, we actually caught a glimpse at the scar on her side, which, sorry for the zoom in, but you guys can see like right about here is like a little bit of an indication that there's been, an upgrade. And when I saw Kylie make this admission, I realized that we talked about this about a month ago, because on Blind Item Breakdown, there was a blind item about Timothy actually asking Kylie to go and get this procedure done. This item reads, this reality star with the lucrative side gig has always said she hated that she got her breasts done, but there she was recently again getting them done again. Did the meme actor request it? So maybe Timothy wanted her to, have that Kylie Jenner look. As I said earlier, it seems like the Kardashians are getting a little bit less shy when it comes to their plastic surgery. Even Kris Jenner recently got her face done, and there's no denying that she looks like a completely different person, and we're just all casually accepting it.
Her skin looks so good. That plumpiness from different treatments, lasers, exosomes, PRF. Look at her jawline. It looks incredible.
Kris Jenner is definitely setting the new standard for facelifts, and it's kind of spooky. I can't imagine, say my grandmother, and the next day she looks like literally 20, 30 years younger. Also, isn't it a little bit weird when like the body doesn't match the face? So like, is she gonna wear like long sleeves all the time and cover her chest, like looking so young in the face but then grandma in the body? A representative for Kris confirmed that she had an aesthetic enhancement done by Dr. Stephen Levin. It looks like he specializes in natural-looking enhancements of the face, breast, and body, including facelift, rhinoplasty, eyelid rejuvenation, ouchie. He does body contouring, breast augmentation, and reduction. So it looks like he does it all. Recently, Netflix threw their Tadum event, which was celebrity-filled. I mean, by celebrities, I'm talking about like Chris Appleton. But he actually wore a shirt recently that says, "I'll have what Kris Jenner is having," which in my opinion is a clear indication that he like wants what Kris Jenner had. The new procedure. I feel like before we were calling it the Lindsay Lohan, but now Kris Jenner has adopted it. Chloe actually wrote under a post that he had made ditto, and Kim wrote, "Me too, babe." So oddly enough, I don't think we'll ever see this family truly age. I mean, even when they were doing Keeping Up with the Kardashians, we saw Kris go under the knife on camera, so they've never been really that shy about it. I feel like Chloe is the one who lies the most because like, seriously, that transformation needs to be studied. Let's get into the Biebers. Justin just made this post on Instagram. Telling other humans they deserve something is like raising someone else's kid. Good question. Who's raising yours? Never mind. Okay, let's not go there. It's too early in the podcast episode. Who are you to tell someone what they should or shouldn't have? The audacity. That's not your place. God decides what we deserve. I never know who he's talking about. Is he talking about his wife? Is he talking about us? Is he talking about just some theory? I have no idea. But we do know that he should be thankful because his wife is pretty much getting him out of debt with her recent sale. Justin Bieber isn't losing grip on his wife, Hailey. Literally, despite all the drama swirling their marriage, he dropped a batch of photos of them on Instagram, which to me, I mean, was it him or was it her? But for Hailey, everything's been dandy lately, being on the cover of Vogue and selling her company Rhode to Elf Cosmetics for $1 billion. Keep in mind, they keep calling her a billionaire, but that's not the case. I don't want to burst her bubble. Congratulations, but Now, since this news has come out about Hailey selling this Rhode brand, it's been up for debate if she's maybe too good for Justin. I mean, Justin hasn't made music in a while. There's rumors about him having debt. He's blowing through his cash, and he's kind of I feel bad for him because I feel like he's gone through so much trauma in the industry, and we're going to be talking about like Diddy next, so I can't even be like, he's washed up, but you know what I mean? Like nowadays, he hasn't made music in a while, so people are questioning if maybe she's too good for him.
Have you seen Hailey Bieber's comment section? Now leave him and enjoy being a billionaire. She's not Hailey Bieber, she's Hailey Baldwin. Divorce, babe, divorce. Road to riches. I don't like Hailey Bieber, but I love Hailey Baldwin. Baddie, please leave this man. You're too good for him. And the problem is, you can just keep on scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and a majority of the comments are just eating Justin alive.
All of her comments are anti-Justin, which is different for Hailey's social media. Like this comment reads, "Because she deserves better." And Lana writes, "Maturing is realizing that Justin was the problem." Now this week, there have been so many different reportings that I decided I'll just bring them all to you. Like we've got the Daily Mail with an exclusive saying the Biebers are like the Sussex, like Meghan Markle. That spells trouble. Hollywood insiders fear Hailey's $1 billion beauty deal could spell further pain for her rocky marriage to Justin. And then I went onto a financial website, and even the financial websites are questioning this. One has a headline, "Hailey Bieber's $1 billion brand Rhode could be at risk if she divorces Justin." This all comes down to a prenuptial agreement. They got married in 2018, and because Rhode has really began the last few years and she's built her career while she's been married to Justin, it's pretty much his as well. Well, if they aren't headed towards divorce, then maybe she's using this money to help him out of trouble. Cosmopolitan put out an exclusive report, and I feel like Cosmo has some connections to Hailey. They're a little bit more like legitimate. Again, I don't know if this is the truth, but at least I could imagine a reputable source going to Cosmo. The headline reads that Hailey is making a calculated shift and turning her full attention to Justin Bieber's new brand. brand. Hailey sold Rhode for a massive payday. She's now turning her full attention to Skylark, which is Justin's new clothing brand. In coming weeks, you'll see her doing more cross-promotion for this. She's helping him with creative strategy and product development. The source adds that Hailey built Rhode into $1 billion brand and cashed out at the peak, so now she's using that momentum to help Justin. She's trying to be a mogul and she's on her way, the source says. I feel like skincare and makeup was very specific to Hailey, and people wanted to have skin like hers, and she kind of fit that aesthetic. I don't know if like a male's clothing brand with a bunch of baggy pieces is going to translate the same way, but also maybe it was good that she cashed out while it was peaking. I mean, people like Selena Gomez, they own their brand, and it seems like she's making more and more just by owning it opposed to trying to get out. One headline says that Selena was accused of shading Hailey following the sale of her beauty brand. Just one day after the announcement that e.l.f. bought Rhode, Selena's cosmetics company Rare posted 2 snaps of Selena and simply captioned it with "still here," which is so messy because Selena's trying to say, you know, I'm still here, I'm still at Rare Beauty, like, look at me because I still own this brand, I'm not turning my back towards it. One person wrote, it's like Hailey is always on Selena's mind, it's pathetic. Another person wrote that she's actually shady as hell. One other person posted, she actually pisses me off, like, move on, you're a grown woman. Now, a lot of people did not like that approach on social media, so they ended up deleting that tweet. Some person wrote on X, Rare Beauty deleted the "still here" tweet. We already saw that and we already know how you are. Let's be real, when's the last time that you needed to go to the doctor, but you said, I'm too busy, or I don't even know where to go? I've made every excuse in the book, but here's the truth. Finding a great doctor doesn't have to be hard or overwhelming. That's where ZocDoc comes in. It's a free app and website that makes it easy to find top-rated in-network doctors and instantly book appointments online. We're talking over 100,000 doctors across every specialty, from dermatology to therapy to urgent care. You can filter by location, insurance, availability, and even see real reviews from verified patients. Once you've found the right doctor, just pick a time slot and instantly book. A lot of appointments are available within 24 to 72 hours. I personally use ZocDoc and it saved me from sitting on a wait list for months. If I need to find a new doctor, that's where I'm going. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance, see real patient reviews, and even grab same-day appointments. Stop putting off those doctor appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/Sloan to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/Sloan. ZocDoc.com/Sloan. Let's get into Diddy. Now, I had to go and look up this video for myself because I cannot believe the President of the United States could potentially pardon Diddy for the crimes that he has committed. Well, Todd Chrisley was recently pardoned by Donald Trump, so maybe Diddy has a chance. I mean, Todd had the same lawyers as I think Trump had, so I think that's the connection there, which is why they were probably able to get that deal for Todd, because I can't believe he got out. But because of their lawyers' connection, I would think that that would make it easier. I mean, it would be outrageous if he actually pardoned Diddy. I actually looked at this video, like I said, and Trump said that he hadn't been paying attention to the Diddy trial. He said he saw that it's been making a lot of press, but he's not paying attention to it. But he said that if he felt like Diddy was mistreated, he might consider a potential pardon. But I remember him saying in the video that like Diddy said some things bad about Trump. Like, I guess he's more like Democrat. Don't misquote me, but I watched the video and I remember him saying this. And I feel like because like Todd Chrisley's like a Republican and would vote for Donald Trump, and Diddy did not vouch for Donald Trump, I could see Donald maybe not giving him a pardon because he's petty like that. Like, you didn't support me back then screw you. Now, in the courtroom, it looks like Diddy's lawyers are aiming for a mistrial, which would probably be the best case scenario for him because redoing everything we've been witnessing would be difficult. Diddy's defense lawyer cried for a mistrial Wednesday after a witness revealed fingerprints connected to a break-in at Kid Cudi's home had been destroyed. An arson investigator was testifying about a cocktail thrown into Kid Cudi's car in January 2012 by Diddy. The investigator testified that his unit recovered DNA on the bottle used for the bomb. The partial DNA was from an unknown woman. The investigator then testified that Kid Cudi had given his unit fingerprint cards from a December 2011 burglary at his home, a burglary at which Diddy was present at. The investigator revealed that those fingerprint cards that Kid Cudi had given to them were destroyed in 2012 by the LAPD. The defense jumped in on this, claiming it could be used as evidence that the fingerprints of the burglary did not match the fingerprints at the scene. The defense also argued the prosecution knew about the insinuation and would prejudice the defense's case, but proceeded anyways. Kid Cudi had told the court that he knew Diddy had something to do with the attack on his Porsche, but admitted that there were no witnesses, fingerprints, or proof linking Diddy to the arson. It's like it was a perfect crime, and that's the problem with a lot of Diddy's work, is that it's all been perfectly executed, so the government's having a difficult time right now. On the other hand, it seems like his daughters are having a splendid time, and if you guys have been following me on my main channel, you would know about the one video we talked about Diddy's adopted daughter that is in trouble. Well, they recently spotted her again in a video of Diddy's twins with her, and there are some people concerned that this girl needs to be rescued.
Truck riding, and we're gonna take our cousin Kwai and our best friend Ava. You guys all know her and remember her and ask about her every day, so you get to see her. Yay! But yeah, we're gonna get ready for that soon. Hey guys, so we're with Ava and Kwai. We're going for truck riding. Yeah. We're on the way. Our appointment's at 3 and it's 2:17, so we kind of gotta hurry, but we'll be there at 2:57, so we're gonna be good.
The way that their dad is on one of the most horrendous trials in history and they could care less just is outstanding to me. They live in their own world, truly. This comment reads, "I'm not buying what they're selling." Another comment reads, "Ava does not want to be there." Another person writes, "Ava is not smiling." And finally, "Something is not right." And just a reminder, this girl named Ava that would be seen with Diddy and his daughters went viral a year ago because they felt like this relationship was inappropriate.
My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Oh, Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baroni.
Ava Baroni Combs? Yes, it was breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child.
Ava Combs? I can't even believe this is real. Now, just this weekend trial, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. So one of the hotel security guards testified in court about the time that he was paid $100,000 to get that video and get rid of it, even though he did not do a good job. Eddie Garcia testified that he was the one that Diddy had approached to go and take care of the footage that caught him attacking Cassie. Eddie said that he stated that I sounded like a good guy and that something like this video could ruin him. Diddy said he believed that Eddie could make it happen and that he would take care of him, and he said financially. Eddie said that he checked with his boss and he was told that he would sell it to Diddy for $50,000. Eddie said that he referred to me, Diddy did, as Eddie my angel. I knew you could help. I knew you could do it. Within 2 days of the attack on Cassie, it looks like Eddie gave Diddy a storage device containing the footage in exchange for $100,000 in cash, with Diddy feeding the bills through a money counter and putting them in a brown paper bag. Eddie never put the cash into the bank, so there was no paper trail. A few weeks later, Diddy called Eddie and asked him if anyone asked about this video, anyone inquiring about it. Eddie said no, and Diddy said, "Happy Easter, Eddie, my angel. God is good. God put you in my way for a reason," which really shows how manipulative Diddy really is. Let's get into Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's son, Pax. This is a random story I'm throwing in, but I'm genuinely concerned about Angelina Jolie's son, Pax. I mean, he's also Brad Pitt's son, but Pax doesn't want anything to do with his dad. He said on the record that he does not like his father and he's a horrible dad. Well, in my opinion, I think Pax is a little bit of a troublemaker, or maybe he's had some trauma in his life. He's gone through a bunch of things. Now that he's entering into his 20s, he's appearing more and more in public, and it's concerning. I remember talking about this in the past, but he's had several really frightening accidents on motorbikes, driving around, actually even totaling a Tesla at one point, suffering severe injuries in a terrifying e-bike crash in July 2024. Actually, Angelina made Pax take defensive driving lessons and sign a contract in which he states to wear a helmet while riding his e-bike. So it looks like he has problems. I mean, Angelina needs to create a contract for him to sign. That all happened in 2024, and now it's 2025 and he's clubbing. Pax is entering into his club era because he was seen recently going to a bunch of different clubs with his friends. They stopped at Deja Vu Showgirls, a strip strip club. The group's night reportedly started at the Chateau Marmont, where a lot of celebrities go, where they partied and headed to the club just before 2 a.m., which this report says he's 20. Is he 21? I don't know. Maybe he's turning 21. Reports claim that witnesses say that his posture was pretty bad. He was leaning over. It seems like he was pretty drunk and leaning on his friends for support. At one point, a friend helped him clean his face, a small but telling moment suggesting that he might have been too deep into the cocktails. It looks like security was at the entrance and was seen checking IDs and patting down patrons, but I wonder if he had a fake ID. I don't know. That could get the bar probably in a lot of trouble. Once inside, the group reportedly kept things moving, continuing to party later at a private residence. This recent outing adds a little bit more dimension to what Pax is going through. I mean, last year he was crashing every type of vehicle that is out there. Now he's 20, he parties, he's riding his e-bikes around, and he's navigating adulthood with two of the most famous parents in the world. Something about that situation just gives me a bad gut feeling because I feel like his parents maybe aren't entirely present and he's gonna be Hollywood trouble. Let's get into Jojo Siwa. Now, Jojo Siwa has been on quite a transformation this year, from a gay pop star to whatever she is now. I mean, I think she would be declared like bisexual, but the last we heard was on Celebrity Big Brother when she came out as queer. That was the same experience where she met her new boyfriend, Chris Hughes, and it looks like they are officially in a relationship. Jojo says she's head over heels for Chris, and it's no longer platonic anymore. She claims that their relationship has been a beautiful development, a beautiful connection, and I'm absolutely head over heels for him, and he's the same way. Their chemistry took off while starring on the Celebrity Big Brother, so we watched it all unfold on television, and now it's like we can't escape it. We see these two out and about on vacation at an adults-only resort in Mexico, or Chris posting pictures of these two laying in bed, and it looks like they don't have any clothes on. I mean, it looks like Chris is going to be Chris Siwa soon, because he's been hanging out with her parents, Jessalyn and Tom, posting them on his Instagram stories, at one point calling Jojo's father my boy. Now, there are a lot of reactions to this relationship. One, because Jojo went from, dating someone who's non-binary, who was born as a female. So, I mean, typically Jojo had dated women up until this point, so that's quite a shocking factor. And then we've got a 10-year age gap. Chris is like 32 and Jojo's like 22, but she's really giving off like 17, 16. When they say people become famous, they stop growing or maturing at the age they became famous. I feel like Jojo kind of fits into that category. I think she's a little bit more in control, but not really. She's still super naive. Squishy writes, I fully understand that she's a grown adult, but I really wonder how her parents feel about the 10-year age gap. Yeah, he was at her parents' house playing games with her dad, but calling him my boy is kind of weird, which I agree. Now, a lot of people blame Chris Hughes for the reason why Jojo and Kath had split up. Keep in mind that these two, Kath and Jojo, were talking about marriage and having kids at one point. And then Kath, like the rest of us, had to watch on television as Jojo seemingly cheated on them. Kath spoke out again at first, but it looks like they're speaking out once again. The Australian DJ took to the podcast Conversations with Kath for an episode to talk about their split from Jojo. Remember, Jojo and Kath actually split up at the Big Brother after party, and Kath posted a video that they ended up deleting, talking all about Jojo and that breakup.
I will take accountability for the fact that the internet, oddly enough, did warn me, and I had my own instincts, but I chose to believe in what I thought was, I don't know, the kindness.
I think it definitely wasn't handled properly, but it's all good. You know what I mean? It's all good, troops.
And also, I think you're young. You know what I mean?
We keep it pushing. We keep it pushing. And I think right now I'm very lucky. I'm very busy and I'm very occupied and I'm very grateful. And I am also so much happier, which means I did the right thing.
Yeah. Kath says watching Jojo and Chris get all cuddled up on the show, combined with the anniversary of their close friend's death, proved too much for them, sending them into a meltdown. Kath says, but I knew Jojo had no idea what was going on. She didn't know what I'd been through. She didn't. She had no effing clue. Now, I think it's fascinating that Jojo is with Chris just because I love pop culture. We watched them like fall in love on a show. She cheated on her partner, even though I genuinely feel bad for Kath, and I actually feel bad for Jojo too. I feel like they're kind of a victim here. It's all really entertaining, though I do feel like JoJo has a pattern, and I don't know how long their relationship with Chris will last. Plus, I do think Chris is acting pretty creepy. Let's get into Austin McBroom from the Ace family. Now, nobody likes Austin McBroom right now. Maybe his girlfriend, but even that is debatable because Catherine McBroom has dragged him through the mud after exposing him for cheating on her. If you didn't watch last week's episode of the Let's Get Into It podcast, we talked about Catherine appearing on Call Her Daddy and detailing everything about her relationship with Austin. And something I really appreciate about that interview is that she did not hold back. So Austin looks really bad right now. Austin says, I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for my response to the podcast, and if I'm being honest, I was very close at giving you guys exactly what you wanted. I'm not buying that. He goes on to say, I was getting ready to drop an atomic bomb. Okay, what would he have on her that he hasn't already tried to spew on the internet, claiming that she's doing drugs around their kids? He says, my little ass ran to Snapchat. I even went as far as getting dressed up and buying a pink chair. So he's trying to emulate what's going on there. I also think he's got trolling in his blood. He cannot help but to troll every situation, even if this situation should be serious. Austin posts everything in his life on Snapchat because that's where he's making money. So he did give us a glimpse into what he was going to do in his response to Catherine. And here's what he posted.
Pretty much you could just see the way I was. Yeah, I was crashing out a little bit. Look.
He's so unserious. What is this little man doing, running around stomping through his empty house?
What the?
Did he rip one of the plants out of the yard? Is that what he did? Look. It looks like he ripped, and it still has the soil on it. I haven't seen behavior like this in a long time. This comment reads, this just shows how much he takes everything as a joke. He doesn't care about what he did, and he doesn't care about how his children feel about it. Now, it was quite the coincidence that Catherine's Call Her Daddy episode came out the same day as their daughter Elle's birthday, their oldest daughter. The Ace family is it's Austin, Catherine, and Elle. So they're all part of it. They're the original three of the family.
That shit broke my heart, and Elle doesn't deserve it.
Now him trying to make the podcast about his daughter's birthday, the kid won't even be aware of the podcast as long as you don't tell them. I mean, I don't think they're old enough to have a phone yet.
Elle called me this morning before school, and she asked me to come over to her mom's house so we can open up all of her birthday gifts to me. And obviously,
this reminds me of that commercial, in the arms of an angel, with all the sad dogs. It's not that sad, Austin, but you know what? He wants to be the victim so bad. At one point on Snapchat, Austin did admit that he did cheat in his relationship, saying, when it comes to me stepping out of my marriage, I 100% stepped out of my marriage. It was completely wrong for me to do, and I take full accountability. Well, take accountability once, twice, 3, 4, 5. Well, he did this about 20 times. There's 20 different women. So there's a lot of accountability to be had. He must be really full if he's taking all of that accountability. But there was another moment this week where Austin tried to set up Catherine to look bad. And it was a moment where his daughter Elle called him crying because supposedly Catherine was on ayahuasca or some kind of drug and she was scared. And of course, Austin wanted to push this.
Upstairs? Oh, he is? He's upstairs with mommy? What's wrong? You don't feel good. You want me to pick you up?
I mean, this is pretty scary too if your kid's calling you and your ex-partner is supposedly on these kind of drugs. I don't know what the implications of these things are. I thought that if you take ayahuasca, you need to have a guide with you to babysit you. So how could you babysit?
I want to pick you up? Okay, I'll pick you up. I'm about to eat this food and I'll come get you. What's wrong? Your stomach hurts?
Her stomach hurts. Also, keep in mind that when you do take this drug, your stomach typically hurts. So I don't know if he's setting this up.
Just her.
Okay, it's not the stomach, people. False alarm. This comment reads, grown man recording himself using the kids for clout. Another person adds, sorry, but if my kid called me crying like this, asking for me to pick them up, I'd be getting up and leaving, not eating first. Which I also noticed that as well. Like, I would be running out the door or at least taking my food to go. Let's get into Sydney Sweeney. Now, Sydney Sweeney is single and she's living her best life. She's working a ton, but also it seems like she's having fun as well. She's another one of those celebrities I put into the category of don't leave your partner alone with them. Not Gypsy Rose, she'll steal your man. Jojo Siwa will steal your man or your girlfriend. And Sydney Sweeney just has that, again, that magical spell. Like, her Sweeneys are able to get anyone. Like, don't let your partner around those Sydney Sweeneys, because they've got powers. Supposedly, Sydney is enjoying life without a partner. Good for her. I mean, she started dating her ex-fiance when she was like 20 years old and he's like 30, and she's at her prime right now. She says, I'm learning a lot about myself, spending more time with friends, and I'm loving it. She's definitely got some free time on her hands. I don't know if you guys saw the soap that she's been selling. Like, a soap created with her used bath water. I'm blaming the movie Saltburn for something like this existing, or at least I'm blaming Dr. Squatch soap for creating this. It's called Sydney's Bathwater Bliss Soap, created for men using the bath water that Sydney had been in. Only 5,000 bars are created because Sydney is booked and busy, and it comes with a certificate so that you can prove that you do have a little bit of, I guess, her bath water in your possession.
Hello, you dirty little boys.
Okay, wait, let's just break down this ad really quick. We don't need all the music. Okay, so Sydney Sweeney soap featuring her bath water. They're giving 100 of these bricks away. I don't know if soap's called bricks. So this was a commercial she actually did that went viral, I believe, last year. And this may be the inspiration on why people are talking about this bathtub water. Also, looking at the screen right now, it doesn't even look like a bathtub she's in. It's kind of like a square container. Sydney was down to use that bath water to create this soap, which is the scent of morning wood. Wow. Can't get any more corny than that, huh? Sydney claims that her fans were begging her for her bath water, and she says that she's an empowered sex symbol icon, so she took the opportunity to cash in. Comment below, would you let your respective partner use Sydney's soap? I feel like that's exactly like one of the ingredients to the spell I was talking about earlier.
Hey, in case you needed a reminder as to how perverted men are, Dr. Squatch, the soap company, made a whole new product and marketing campaign about how their new soap is Sydney Sweeney's actual bath water, and it's going absolutely viral.
We start by saying the largest problem here is that the market for this soap should not exist. If you are buying this, whether it be ironically or not, I find that to be truly embarrassing. I think the argument can be made that this is empowering. She's going to be objectified anyway, so why not make a buck off it? But I think at the same time, this is lazy, it's exploitative of parasocial weirdos, and it does not frame Sydney Sweeney in the way that she wants to be framed by her own admission.
This comment reads, I feel like catering to the weird male fans is just going to end up backfiring on her, especially now that she's working on more serious movies like the Christy Martin biopic. Now, I can understand that sentiment. I think it's kind of a little bit more lighthearted than that because a lot of people are going to forget about this soap. They're going to move on. So hopefully in her role, she'll be able to be taken seriously. I mean, Euphoria is kind of like a mid-role, so we'll have to see. Let's get into Taylor Swift. So Taylor Swift has fired back at Scooter Braun, and she got all of her masters back. So we don't have to see Taylor Swift go through all these different albums and make her Taylor's version. Now, this was a major surprise to fans because nobody saw that coming. Taylor broke the news herself with all of her albums around her, saying, "You belong with me, letter on my site." This is the letter that she posted onto her website, and she goes on to claim that she now owns all of her music videos, concert films, every single piece of her life's work. So this is a big win for her because she's worth a lot. It's also a very interesting position to see like Taylor here, like at the top of her game, breaking records and probably the most popular pop star out here. And she wants the control to her masters, her records so badly. Then we have Justin Bieber, who was, you know, at one point equally as popular, and he sold his music away happily for $200 million because maybe he needed the money, maybe he didn't care about owning the music, but it's interesting to see two different artists take two different varied takes, and they both came from Scooter Braun. Scooter actually cashed out on both of the sales of their music, both Taylor's in 2019 and Justin's, I believe, in 2022. Taylor called Scooter's 2019 catalog purchase her worst case scenario and went full savage mode, accusing Scooter of years of manipulation, bullying, and vowing to re-record every album, which she did begin to do. I actually remember at this point Justin was Team Scooter, and he was kind of starting to have a feud with Taylor. Scooter Braun has reacted to Taylor's latest business deal.
Well, first of all, there were a lot of rumors going around that buying her masters was going to cost her about $1 billion, but she was able to buy it for $360 million according to Billboard. And in the letter, she actually thanked all the fans that went to the Eras tour because this tour helped her buy her music back.
A source close to the contract says, don't buy recent reports about Scooter encouraging Shamrock to sell to Taylor. We're told credit goes solely to the team at Shamrock Capital and Taylor's Nashville-based management. She owns her music in spite of Scooter Braun, not because of him. This article claims, though, that Scooter's not feeling any bad blood towards Taylor, and he's actually stoked about this purchase, which, again, I'm not buying that either. The Hype America CEO tells TMZ that he's happy for her after she bought her entire musical catalog from Shamrock Capital. Keep in mind that this is the company that Scooter sold them to back in 2020 after he bought them from Big Machine Label Group the year before, which that's like a sketchy part of this entire story. I had to take down my video because Scooter Braun tried to come after me, and we can't use pictures of Scooter Braun, but this label did initially sell her masters to Scooter, and I do believe her father got a part of that deal, Papa Swift, but don't quote me on it. Let's get into Beyonce. Now, at first, when Beyonce was going on her Cowboy Carter tour, I was a little bit, oversaturated with tours. We just saw her go on the Renaissance tour. I was kind of confused by it, but you know what? Beyonce loves to perform, and she's good at it. So, you know what? She should just stay on the road if it makes her happy. Maybe it gives her time away from Jay-Z, if you know those allegations. Anyways, but Beyonce was recently at a show, and one of her fans were holding up a sign in the crowd where they were asking her to be a part of their gender reveal, which sounds like, I don't even know how you would expect that to happen. I mean, you have to have a big sign, right? But the sign reads, sibling gender revealed. The sign continued saying, what now? Beyonce then became interested in what was going on there. No, it looks like Beyonce decided to go and jump in on their request, and she grabbed an envelope from these fans to go and announce their gender reveal to the entire stadium. She apologized for her hands being sticky as she accidentally ripped through the envelope. I mean, she's out there performing. It's got to be hard. Partially tearing the paper with the actual gender on it, which is funny in my opinion, not that big of a deal. Wait, watching her try to open it is so funny. Cowboy. Oh, that's cute. This comment reads, my child would be putting this on their resume. Royal King commented, so Beyonce's technically the godmother now. I'm glad Beyonce did that moment. It's very human and real and sweet. It also reminds me of when someone bought my Blinded and Breakdown hat and they got engaged in it. And they sent me a picture of their engagement ring. So if you guys ever take a picture in my merch, actually I'm currently selling this Sloan Let's Get Into It sweatshirts right now on sloanhooks.com. Send me a picture of you in them. I'd like to see it. Thank you guys for tuning in to this week of the Let's Get Into It podcast. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I see you guys all subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. Also, shout out to you guys there on Spotify, on Apple Podcast. I really appreciate it. Please rate the show. It means so much to me, and there might be some changes to the podcast soon. Good changes, like really good changes. So if you guys can like, comment, do all those things, it actually does help. Like I used to think back in the day, like not to ask for those things, but right now we need them. So thank you guys for being loyal and tuning in, and I'll see you in next week's episode. Bye guys.